We will now call to order the City Council meeting this Tuesday, December 17th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. in the council chambers. Mayor Terry Darcy presiding. Deacon Carl Hubner of Cathedral St. Raymond will lead us in the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
I would like to start with a reading, and this is a reading from the letter of St. Paul, first letter of St. Paul to the Thessalonians. May the God of peace perfect us in holiness. May he preserve us whole, entire, spirit, soul, and body. And let us pray. Lord, we pray for peace. Peace in our world, peace in our country, peace in our hearts. God bless all of the citizens of this beautiful city of Joliet. God bless all of our police officers, firefighters. May the Lord bless the men and women in our military. Lord, bless the members of this city council, that they make wise decisions in the governing of our city. We thank you, Lord, for our beautiful country, our beautiful city. We thank you for the freedom in this beautiful country and that we call home. May God bless America. And now please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy?
Here.
Councilman Cardenas?
Here.
Councilman Clement?
Here.
Councilman Guerrero?
Here.
Councilman Hug is absent. He did let me know he would not be in attendance this evening. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Here.
Councilman Mudrin?
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Here.
Under Mayor is a proclamation celebrating Beacon Club's 70th anniversary.
Here and so you can. You look good on TV, James.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take these off so I can read. Office of the Mayor, Terry Darcy, City of Joliet. Proclamation. Whereas today we celebrate the 70th anniversary of the founding of the Beacon Club. The Beacon Club was initiated December 17th, 1954 in Joliet, Illinois, with the purpose of fostering progressive thinking, promoting social interaction among members, friends of the club, and whereas in 1985, the club purchased their own clubhouse, which is located at 510 North Chicago Street in Joliet, Illinois, and is used to host activities such as Wives' Night Out, Beacon Picnic, annual New Year's Eve dance, and numerous other community events. Whereas the Beacon Club continues to foster brotherhood, respect, communication, friendship, as well as honoring their families while thriving to incorporate the total family structure, not only in the club, but in their individual lives as they continue being beacons of light in the community. And whereas the Beacon Club will provide education and scholarships for many students who later become outstanding citizens in the community. And whereas the Beacon Club continues to promote unity, leadership, respect, and brotherhood among its members and the area organization. Now therefore, I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby urge all citizens to join me in congratulating the Beacon Club of Joliet as they celebrate their 70th anniversary today, December 17th. Signed, Terry Darcy, Mayor.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilman. It's an honor to be here to accept this award on behalf of the Beacon Club. It's an honor to have served our community to progress in the manner that we promote for the betterment of this city. Again, we thank you for allowing us to serve this community for 70 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Next is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written with the following change? Remove council memo number 596-24, approve health benefit plan options offered to all retirees from consent agenda to be voted on separately.
So moved. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone who would like to speak on agenda items? I do know that there is. State Senator Rachel Ventura, please come up to the podium. Anyone else who would like to speak? If you just want to make a line here in the center, and we'll have you come up one at a time.
Thank you and happy holidays. I'm State Senator Rachel Ventura, the 43rd District, and tonight I'll be speaking on two items, 604-24 and 608-24. So for 604-24, I'm asking you to vote no on the eminent domain for the use of North Point properties. Eminent domain should be used sparingly and only for the benefit of the public. Joliet should not be using eminent domain for a private company like North Point. Your residents don't want this project. The landowners don't want this project. CenterPoint has sued over this project. When is enough enough? Some of you who sat up there promised on the campaign trail to fight against this project. So to continue to use government force to help a profitable company, a corporation such as North Point, is not only wrong, but it sets a dangerous precedence. I'm asking you to vote no on behalf of your constituents. For 608-24, the gas tax for motor vehicles, not the diesel tax, but just the individual vehicles. When I was on the Will County Board, I voted no on the gas tax. At the state level, I voted to freeze the gas tax. Do you know why? Because my constituents can't afford it. They don't want it, and they are asking government to find a different way to fund the services. My constituents in Joliet are your constituents. So we need to stop overtaxing our middle class and our working class. On behalf of your voters and the voters of the 43rd District, please vote no on the increase in the motor fuel tax. Thank you and have a great night.
Good evening, Delilah Legrette, Jackson Township. I'm here to speak on the ordinance filed under 604-24. I watched the meeting last night and would first like to touch on the words said in relation to CenterPoint and North Point. It was asked. So we are taking from one to give to another? The response was, that is what we are trying to do. I understand there was some correction afterwards that it was for public benefit. I also understand it is claimed this needs completed based on the annexation agreement. I have some things to say about all of that. The last time I stood before you, I read from every section of the staff report for the annexation agreement and showed how it was not being followed. Now there's a concern for something to be done. Let's talk public benefit and safety. There is no traffic study attached here or produced in any FOIA. Last I was aware, there were less than 10 trucks using Route 53 daily. The city of Joliet would like to use condemnation to remove less than 10 trucks off of a state road? Of course not. The intention here is to ignore the MOU lawsuit and go ahead and get North Point into Center Point roadways. Only then can North Point fill their current warehouses and as a result, pump hundreds of new trucks onto City of Joliet, state and interstate roadways. Working for a private corporation to be able to flood roads with significantly more trucks is quite literally the opposite of a public benefit or safety. That corporation, North Point, they really must be benefiting the city to get away with all of this. So I reviewed 2024. First, I shared photos of a home that was very important for them to annex into the city recently. They stood here and claimed an employee would really benefit from this home. As you can see in the pictures, they allowed the home to quite literally fall apart and sit this way for months. It was recently demolished. Definitely showed what it meant for North Point to be a good neighbor. Maybe they had benefited the city in 2024 with taxes. In 2024, they paid the city of Joliet $3,573.63 in taxes. You heard me correctly. I have handed over a copy of all of the tax bills with the city of Joliet's portion highlighted, $3,570.63. Let's go back to that quick quote from the meeting. We are taking from one to give to another. That is, taking from Center Point to give to North Point. I've touched on North Point's 2024 here in the city. Let's look at Center Point. I only pulled PIN numbers in their name exactly. That's to say, any warehouses inside Center Point that are owned by their own company are not included here. For example, Harbor Freight is within Center Point and the city of Joliet, but not included in my tax bills. In 2024, Center Point paid $1,350,405.51 to the city of Joliet in taxes. $1,350,405.51. And the city would like to take from them and give to North Point, the company that has been an issue here since day one, that's let their properties get so bad they needed to be demolished, that they haven't even followed the annexation agreement in so many ways? Why? For a fear of being sued by North Point, the company that has the city into 3 current lawsuits? The city would rather risk losing a huge employer for the county, lose over $1 million in taxes every year? Because let's be real, Center Point is being treated like trash. They had agreements in place since day one. They pay millions. They employ so many. How much longer do we really think they will want to deal with this? And if I was in your position, I would be terrified that Center Point would get a TIF offered from another town nearby, pack up and scoot down the road. The only thing that could possibly benefit the public in this current situation is to vote no on this and let everything else play out in the courts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Matt Robbins, and I am the supervisor of Jackson Township. I am here again representing the residents of Jackson Township and their quality of life. I feel sorry for the board members and city staff who were not here when the North Point annexation agreement was approved because you inherited this mess. It is my understanding that the city must use eminent domain on property Center Point owns to help North Point build a bridge over the UP tracks. This is stated in the annexation agreement, section 3, that the city shall help obtain, even by condemnation, property to help North Point. Is this fair? Are you doing this to a partner, your city, like Center Point, who has paid millions in taxes to help someone who has paid hardly anything in taxes? Like I said in the beginning, some of you inherited this, but some of you voted for this. I understand it is in the agreement, but why follow it now? The agreement has been followed since the beginning. In fact, the same section, 3A, also states that before building permits are issued, a temporary connection with Millsdale Road must be in place to keep trucks off of 53. Obviously, that wasn't followed because there wouldn't be 3 huge warehouses already built. The permits were also issued after countless people, including CenterPoint attorneys, told the city that the city was in violation of the MOU between the city and CenterPoint. I am sure the city is doing this so North Point won't sue the city. Well, what about CenterPoint? Aren't they gonna sue the city over this? Why are we so fearful of North Point? North Point says they want to be good neighbors and keep trucks off of 53, but have already removed the truck barriers and are letting trucks onto 53. Do you think building a bridge over the tracks will help reduce trucks? It will give them direct access to 53. The only way to keep the trucks off of 53 is to reinstall truck barriers. Bottom line, the annexation agreement wasn't followed since the beginning. Why start now? If you proceed with eminent domain tonight, what other developer is this going to happen to in Joliet? Vote no on eminent domain. Thank you.
Good evening. Amy Sanchez, resident of Joliet. Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, City Manager Beatty, and City staff, I come before you today to urge support for Council Agenda Items 603-24 and 610-24. We have all witnessed the amazing work the City Center Partnership is doing, not just in the downtown area, but Priscilla Cordero's efforts to rebrand Joliet throughout the special service area, which includes all of downtown, Cash Street, the Latino and multi-language businesses along Collins Street, as well as South Chicago Street, which is home to the historic Black Business District reflected in the Brown Book. The city's implementation to support Chicago Street businesses specifically is critical to the viability and not only small businesses, but the diverse culture and the vibe that Marzell Richardson referred to last night. The way these business owners have worked together during the construction, supporting one another, promoting one another, is the embodiment of the City of Champions. And I urge all City Council members to approve this measure as it's in a critical state. I also ask for your consideration about the future of this process and programs such as this after the period to transfer facilitation, including process, approval, and distribution of awards through community partners or collaboration partners that embody economic development, such as the City Center Partnership, Latino Economic Development Association, the African American Business Association, and Joliet Junior College's Entrepreneur and Business Center. Having a cross-section of community stakeholders owning this process shares transparency and a commitment to community engagement and revitalization. Although we see a new day in Joliet under the leadership of City Manager Beatty, I caution that too much government control may have unwanted and lasting effects and consequences as shown in the past. Having an urban redevelopment plan in place for impacted areas such as downtown, the special service area, and as the quality of life plan points out, districts 4 and 5 in the city of Joliet, is a cross-section with a cross-section of city staff, community leaders, residents, clergy, educators, private corporations, as well as public entities bringing together ideas and a commitment of implementation that would hopefully prevent these critical states that many of these businesses and residents alike are facing. I'm encouraged by leadership on the City Council for their initiative of a complete comprehensive plan that Joliet has so badly needed across the entire city. And I submit to you for your consideration that in the interim, until a comprehensive plan is in place, started and concluded, and in the implementation phase, that City Council and city staff and the community alike dust off the cobwebs of the Quality of Life Plan, the Chicago Metropolitan Agency on Planning and Urban Land Institute plans and studies, and any other reports that speak to the best practices and processes with little to no cost associated to implement those practices and standards while we're waiting for the larger comprehensive plan to be implemented. I am a firm believer that the many stakeholders that came together to engage in those task force meetings, surveys, and sessions wanted to be included and considered and aware of action items such as the City Council agenda item tonight, 604-24, I flag that if you proceed with great amount of caution, that the City of Joliet use its authority for eminent domain. Tonight's vote appears to be a hands-tied vote, and that prior agreements and prior votes for this development in the name of public safety. I implore to you that for this very reasons, stakeholders, residents, private and public entities alike need to be at the table planning the future of this great city. Thank you for your consideration of my comments and requests for consideration.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. Good evening, Mayor. My name is Margie Sepon. I'm a resident of Joliet. I agree with Delilah Legret, Matt Robbins, and Amy Sanchez's comments regarding agenda item 604-24. I'd like to bring up another aspect about that particular item, and it's transparency. This wasn't a fair fight. Many of us, we review the agendas to see if there's anything that we need to be concerned about. I did that last week, Thursday night or Friday morning, and I didn't see anything of concern. And I got a call yesterday afternoon and someone told me that, hey, the North Point Bridge over the UP tracks is on the agenda, eminent domain. I said, no, it's not. I said, yes, it is. Check it out. So I did. And yes, it was on there. But there was no way that anyone that didn't have prior knowledge about the North Point project could determine that this was about North Point. So I am against the eminent domain for this North Point Bridge project, but I'm also about transparency. So what I did, I went to the council agenda, I read it, and it talks about a bridge being built over the UP tracks on Millsdale Road. Doesn't say for North Point, doesn't say land is being taken away from Center Point. So I go into the agenda packet in the council memo. Doesn't say anything about North Point there either. But it says on the bottom of the council memo that this item, this ordinance, was approved by the Land Use and Economic Development Committee. So what did I do? I went to the tape. I go to the tape. I listened to it. There's a presentation about subject property, $146,000 for 11 plus acres, but the owner, they couldn't come to an agreement with the owner. Never was North Point mentioned. Never was Third Coast Intermodal Hub mentioned. There were no questions about it. Motion to approve, it approved, and here it is on the council meeting agenda for vote tonight. We played hide and seek with information with the past administration. I'm not interested in doing that again. I was very irritated at last night's meeting. It wasn't brought up that this was North Point until Councilwoman Ibarra brought it up. No more. Whoever is writing these memos, these staff reports, full transparency. Citizens can't be expected to go through all this information to see if they should or should not be interested in a certain agenda item. So I am asking right now that there needs to be full transparency on these agenda items. Residents need to be able to quickly look at an agenda and see if this concerns them or not. Thank you.
You guys know who I am. I am here speaking on the two agenda items. Number one's the 604-24. Everybody's talking about this eminent domain thing for the North Point thing. I want to go back to all this stuff with Center Point, with all the problems we've been having with Center Point, and how Center Point was able to draw up their own contracts, do their own wording, and so many details were left out from the original things when Center Point came to Joliet for you guys to vote them in. I remember them saying that no trucks will be using Laraway Road. Well, what happened? The trucks are using Laraway Road, and when they put that road through the Agronomy Research Center, through the Army base, out to Arsenal Road, and trucks from Elwood, of course, are coming that way too, and using Laraway Road. It's just we created nothing but havoc for everybody. And then, the details of Centerpoint saying, I remember the first words saying that what they're gonna do ain't gonna interfere or alter or change or affect anybody's lifestyle. I can just say, everything I've been coming here for years and complaining about. All the things that have happened to me in my life and everything, I still continue to suffer. You guys let Centerpoint put in about the road, about my Ma's Road being turned into a 4-lane highway for their toll bridge. Very dangerous. And when I talk to you guys about it, all I hear is, I'm sorry, but, it's already been drawn up, that's how they do it. We don't want any more of this stuff. We're so tired of it, letting companies get away with putting their words in how they want things to go for their own benefit, and not worrying about the public safety, the public's quality of life, anything, and you guys don't take responsibility for it either. You guys just sit there and say, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. The sorries don't do it anymore. How you push people to where they lose everything they got in their life and their quality of life is gone. They gotta wonder, what am I living for? And I am at that point now. I've lost everything. I can never get anything back, all because of all this development has done to me. And now the next thing too is on the taxes. The fuel tax thing, I agree that semi trucks need to pay their fair share for all the damages they do to the roads and bridges. But I drive a diesel pickup truck. And you're gonna expect me to pay that same price that the big rigs pay for their diesel fuel for my pickup truck? It's gonna mean $2.38 more for each fill up. And in a month's time, that's $23.80 more I have to pay. In a year, that's $85.60 extra, and then some more, even on top of that I have to pay a year for my fuel taxes, for fueling my pickup truck to be able to get myself to my doctor for my disabilities and my meds and everything. And on my limited $11,000 a year income, I'm down to eating once a day. What else am I supposed to downsize in order to cover this cost, the extra costs of my diesel fuel prices now? That's gonna cost me to fill my truck up now. My pickup truck and all the other people who drive diesel pickup trucks do not tear the roads up like the big semi trucks. Our pickup trucks don't do the damage. Well, we shouldn't have to pay the burden of the price of any of this. I dare anybody, and I have been daring people on Facebook and everything, on the internet and everything, to go and try to live on my limited income. All yous try to go live on $11,000 for the whole year and have medical costs like I got, and no health insurance, no food stamps. You all try to live on it. And now you're just, it's like when you want to raise this, you're trying to stab me more in the heart.
Good evening and happy holidays. My name is Mike Payon. I'm the Executive Vice President for the Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I'm here tonight to speak about the Joliet Business Continuity Grant Program. I've got a statement here on behalf of our President, Jen Howard. Dear Mayor Darcy and City Council members, on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I'm appearing today in support of the City of Joliet's proposal to establish a Business Continuity Grant Program. Joliet's decision to establish a Business Continuity Grant represents a strategic and compassionate response to current economic challenges facing those businesses located along Chicago Street here in downtown Joliet. This initiative underscores a commitment to protecting jobs, supporting businesses, and ensuring the well-being of our downtown business community. These grants are essential for job preservation, enabling businesses to retain employees and reducing unemployment, which in turn minimizes social costs associated with job loss. By preventing business closures, these grants will sustain local economic activity, preserving critical tax revenue streams that fund public services. We believe that stable businesses are the backbone of thriving communities. By maintaining operations, these entities can continue to provide goods, services, and community support, even during a time when assistance is much needed due to the necessary construction projects that are ongoing. By implementing this business continuity grant, the City of Joliet demonstrates foresight, leadership, and an unwavering commitment to economic stability and the welfare of its citizens. This initiative not only will safeguard businesses, but also strengthens the fabric of our community, laying a resilient foundation for the future. Sincerely, Jen Howard, President, Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce, and as I said before, on behalf of our board of directors. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, Jody Bertucci. I wanted to speak on two things. The first one was the eminent domain, but unfortunately, there's nothing I could say differently than Matt Robbins and Delilah Brett mentioned before. I agree with them totally on that eminent domain. So I'm going to focus on something else that is hit close to home. We have friends, as many of you do, that own businesses in the city of Joliet. Mike and Kathy Trisna, Bill with 158, Musa and Juliet's. I mean, that's just to name a few. That's not all of them. I really appreciate the fact that we're looking at a grant to maybe support these businesses, but I'm asking, is there something we can do more? As I look and talk with them and see that they've lost between 35 and 44% of their businesses over the last year, I know this is going to continue on in 25 and 26. I understand the beautification of downtown Joliet. I'm all for that. But I'm not all for that when it dilapidates the businesses that are already here and that have stuck by Joliet through thick and through thin. Triz and Kathy are involved in so many things. They have brought music venues. They have done so much to bring people to downtown Joliet. Bill with 158, Musa and Juliet, I mean, housing reunions, parties, and everything that they do to try to get people down here. It just seems that it's going against the grain that we're working to beautify Joliet, but we're driving the people away that would come down here and support Joliet. So I'm wondering if there's more we can do. And as I walked around today, and I did eat at Musa's today because I wanted to walk around and see what could be done. But as I looked at the fences that are up, and I looked at the road that looks to be kind of on grade, I saw between the fence and the road, okay, so not the sidewalk, but the fence and the road, you have kind of some partial gravel there. Is there any way we can bring that up to grade for now? Take away the fences so our people with some disabilities and people who cannot get around as much can maybe visit these downtown restaurants. This time of year should be when they're flourishing. Let's be honest, Christmas parties, village parties, etc. we have in these cities like this, and we frequent in downtown Joliet, but I don't see that happening. So I'm really worried as we're working to beautify Joliet, we're driving away the businesses that has sustained us this whole time. I'm just asking you to think, the grant is wonderful, but what else can we do to remove some of those roadblocks that are keeping people from down here? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak on agenda items? This is for agenda items. Anyone else? Okay. Seeing none. Next is appointments. The mayor is recommending Deborah Filato be appointed to the Joliet Arts Commission. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, the mayor is recommending Donna Franks Tapley be reappointed to the Joliet Arts Commission. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, the mayor is recommending Riley Spreadbury be appointed to the Committee on Citizens with Disabilities. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is Mayor Pro Tem. Is there a motion to appoint Councilman Clement to serve as Mayor Pro Tem for the term January 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council committee reports. First, we have finance.
One second. The Finance Finance Committee met here at 5:30. On the committee is Councilwoman Reardon, and myself. Councilman Hug was unable to attend. All the items that I'm going to mention are on the agenda tonight. There's a tax levy for City Center and Park Hill subdivision that we've used to help maintain the pond, cut the grass around it. That is on the agenda to be voted on. We have a bond tax levy for the Rock Run collection, and vehicle replacement bonds, and a tax levy that was placed on the property in Joliet. This ordinance removes the levy of 2024 paid in 2025 since the bonds are paid with other revenue sources. We have a service agreement with Pace in Kendall County that will continue for dial-a-ride for residents in that area. The resolution also allows city manager to accept grant funds under Title 20 of the Social Security Act to help fund these bus trips. The fuel tax increase is on the agenda tonight. It is 1 cent for gasoline, 7 cents for diesel. The impact on personal autos that drive approximately 20,000 miles would be $7.50 per year. The library loan is on the agenda tonight, $3.5 million. This loan will allow the library to remodel the interior of the Black Road branch. It's a 20-year loan, and it would be at market interest rate. A health benefit plan option for retirees is also on the agenda tonight. There is a new plan with a $500 deductible up from the $250 that will save the city somewhere between $200,000 and $400,000. This plan has been widely accepted by the individuals who are full-time and were eligible for it. November financial reports. The general fund is 1 month to go, is expected to end the year with a surplus. The sewer and water fund, which was behind, is now expected to end according to budget. Revenues have been corrected and trending higher than last year. The other fund is the parking fund, and it continues to operate at a deficit. The invoice exceptions were mostly utility bills, water funds, and employee reimbursements. Sherry, anything to add?
Nope, sounds great.
Okay. That'll be my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have public service.
Public service, I'm also giving that report because Councilman Hug was sick and couldn't make the meeting yesterday at 4:30 here in the council chambers. Present were Councilwoman Reardon, myself, and many staff members. There were four contracts on the agenda, all of which we are voting on today. An air blower service for $40,000, contract with Camco for $57,000 for the Collins Street Alley project, a contract to purchase oil from L. Warren Oil Company for $1,444,100. That's unleaded cost of $2.57. Diesel grade 1, $3.60, and grade 2, $2.97. We're also purchasing a new freight liner from National Crane Equipment. We will receive a $75,000 credit for our crane that they are taking, and our net cost there is $257,000. We have three change orders. The Bluff Street Interceptor was decreased by $55,000 with a final payment of $60,000. The Joliet, Ottawa Water Main Improvement Project to tie-in construction for a decrease of $465,000 and a final payment of $1,458,000. The Plainfield Road Black Road Center to tie-in construction corporation for a decrease of $1,305,000 and a final payment of $514. All were approved unanimously and recommended to the full council. New business for final action, the only piece there was asked if the area on Plainfield Road near Dawes back to Route 7 would be open before the winter, and it was assured that this will be done. Also striping on Glenwood Avenue near the hospital and the Illinois Security Insurance Agency will be done before the winter season comes on.
Perfect. I couldn't have said it better myself.
That'd be my report, Mayor.
Thank you again.
Oh, wait a minute.
Got another one?
Yeah, no, I have one from the Finance Committee that I missed because I got too many reports, and that was in regards to the museum. So from September through November, the museum had over 12,000 admissions, and their social media is up just shy of 40,000 people. Now that's my reports.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, approval of minutes. It is recommended the minutes of the pre-council meeting held on December 2nd, 2024, and the minutes of council meeting held on December 3rd, 2024 stand approved as recorded.
So moved.
Invoices to be paid. It is recommended this report be approved. Council memo number 590-24. Award of contract for the number 3 blower refurbishment at the West Side Wastewater Treatment Plant to Air Blower Services Incorporated in the amount of $39,944. Council memo number 591-24. Award of contract for the 652 Collins Street Alley Drainage Improvements Project to construction by Camco Incorporated in the amount of $57,509. Council memo number 592-24. Award of professional services agreement for the Records Department glass window upgrade at the Joliet Police Station to Clear Armor in the amount of $72,922.50. Council memo number 593-24. Request for authorization to upgrade the Joliet Police Department community room with a new integrated audiovisual system purchase in the amount of $59,042.37. Council memo number 594-24. Purchase of 1 new Freightliner National Crane 8100D from Runyon Equipment Company in the amount of $332,024, less a trade-in of $75,000 for a total purchase amount of $257,024. Council Memo Number 595-24, change order number 1 for the Bluff Street Interceptor Rehabilitation Project to Instituform Technologies USA LLC for a decreased amount of $54,403.25, and final payment number 3 in the amount of $60,411.89. It is recommended Council Memos 590-24 through 595-24 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 596-24, approve health benefit plan options offered to all retirees. It is recommended Council Memo Number 596-24 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, comments on this? Anyone? I'm going to comment a little bit as we have in the past. We have been running a insurance program at the city since 2016 that was incorporated in our collective bargaining agreements that last till 2030. And we're trying to find ways to modify that without breaking collective bargaining. So the idea is that we are working with our non-union members, employees and retirees, to offer a plan that gives some alternative choices. Preventative care was never part of that plan. There are other things that this new plan can help for a better health care program at actually a lesser expense to the city. So in looking at this, I know that we've had, how many people do we know have gotten involved in this? Do we know? Kevin?
How many have taken the,
How many have opted to move to the new plan?
I think Mindo said, what was it, 70?
About
Five.
75% of the, I mean, you know, this is for retirees, but
Right.
the active,
Yeah.
about 75%.
Well, it wasn't communicated crystal clear coming out. We think we're getting better at the understanding of what this new insurance plan can do for the members. And as we've said, people are moving to it because it's got some benefits that help. And in doing so, if a lot of our retirees and current non-union move, the city will save $200,000 to $400,000 a year, offer better benefits, and I know the unions have agreed to talk to us in the next year to take a look at some modifications that can make these insurance plans better, more productive, and maybe not quite so expensive. We pulled this out of the consent agenda so that we could talk about it and have everyone fully understand what's involved in this particular part of our Council Member 596-24. So those are the comments I had. Anybody else have any comments on it? We have a first. Thank you.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
I will abstain.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Agenda items. Council Memo Number 598-24. Award of contract for the 2025 motor fuel purchase to Al Warren Oil Company Incorporated in the amount of $1,444,100. It is recommended Council Memo Number 598-24 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments, questions? Greg, how many times, who bid this? We had, what, 3 or 4 bidders on this?
We had 2 bidders. We had publicly advertised it and also reached out to some local suppliers. We ended up having 2 bidders.
And how many years has Al Warren been our provider?
I know at least last year and maybe a year or 2 previous to that.
So they've won this bid probably 3 years at least.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, thank you. But we did bid it.
Yeah, it was
as we
publicly
last year.
bid.
Okay, thank you. Just want to make that clear. Any other comments? Thank you.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 599-24, award of contract for Axon AI Bundle. It is recommended Council Memo Number 599-24 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments, any questions? We had a very thorough presentation on this last night, and as it proceeds out through 2025, it's going to help us to be a more thorough and better policing opportunity for our police men and women, in that it'll be able to interpret different languages. It will really do a great job of taking the scene and putting into a report through AI that's going to be clear to the word on things that were said and done during any type of police action. So we really feel strongly that this is going to save a lot of time moving forward. This will make everything much more clear and transparent as we move forward with our public service there. So, thank you.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
We had the presentation last night, and I'm excited at the possibility of improved efficiencies, and particularly in the live translations. But after speaking with some community members, that there's some hesitations that I just can't overcome about the kind of broader questions about the inclusion of AI in our policing methods, and its kind of its role that it plays in our society as a whole. And so were we able to kind of pick and choose, I think definitely I would be in favor of the live translations. I think that's a very helpful feature, but not that I'm opposed to all of these services necessarily, just that at this time I don't feel comfortable making the commitment for what is nearly a 10-year contract. I hope that I'm just being overly cautious, and I hope that these fears are unwarranted, and that this is the right decision to move forward. Just that at this time, I don't think that I could kind of shake those hesitations entirely. So at this moment, I'll have to vote no.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 600-24. Change Order Number 5 for the Joliet, Ottawa Water Main Improvements Project to Trine Construction Corporation for a decreased amount of $465,768.17 and pay estimate number 13 and final in the amount of $1,458,013.78. It is recommended Council Memo Number 600-24 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? I have a quick question, Allison. We talk about things when they go up. Can I ask, did this go down because less quantity was used? I'm just trying to find that one.
Yeah, especially with a project like that where it's located, we have to, when we're preparing the bid documents, assume quantities for certain items that end up not being used. So there are a balancing of the quantities at the end of the job. So we did find some efficiencies. We were able to delete certain segments of water main, and so that resulted in the negative change order.
Thank you. Any other comments before we vote? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 601-24, Change Order Number 7 for the Plainfield Road Black to Center Water Main Improvements Project to Trine Construction Corporation for a decreased amount of $1,305,802.22 and pay estimate number 10 and final in the amount of $514,329.44. It is recommended Council Memo Number 601-24 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments, questions? Thank you.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under ordinances, Council Memo Number 603-24. Ordinance authorizing a business continuity grant program in conjunction with the City Center Partnership and repealing Ordinance Number 18569. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments, questions? We had a good thorough discussion on this last night, and I'm sure that the outcome will be the way it should be. Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 604-24. Ordinance authorizing the acquisition of certain real property by purchase or by the exercise of eminent domain. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? I'd like to comment on this one. Truly, this could have been written more transparently. I take those words humbly that this should have had more clear definition that this was part of the North Point project. I know this is difficult. Stewardship is not always easy. We have an annexation agreement that was signed, I believe, in 2020, 2021. It's a legal document that we're bound to, and we have to follow legal documents that were put in place, whether previous administration or current. The city, in our stewardship position, has to be careful of litigation. So when we talked about public safety with regard to some of this, the idea of that annexation agreement was that there would be no trucks on Route 53, and that the entrance to the intermodal would have been over bridges that would have kept any of those semis off of Route 53, which we all believe is the safest way to do things. But in this case, we have a binding agreement that was put in place some years ago. And as we look at this, we're stewards of the city. Our first obligation is to an agreement that was already put in place, signed, and stamped. So those are my comments. Anybody else have any comments? Thank you.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
No.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
No.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 605-24. Ordinance approving the 2025 fiscal year annual budget for the City of Joliet, Will, and Kendall Counties, Illinois. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
Just to go through the quick presentation again, since we have new viewers tonight. Real quick, just budget process. Over the last 6 months, we've been meeting, going through the budget. Public hearings were held earlier in the month. Has 30 new positions, 14 police, 8 fire, 3 IT, 2 public works, 1 city clerk, 1 in community development, 1 sewer and water. Budget has funding for increased facility maintenance, continued the comprehensive plan that was awarded earlier this year. 30 miles of roads and sidewalks, 41 vehicles, completion of the City Square and Chicago Street project, maintenance improvements to Slammer Stadium, those are over $1 million there. Design for Fire Station 7's replacement, continuation of the landscape maintenance upgrades that we saw earlier this year, some equipment for roadways, 30 new police cameras throughout the community, much needed repairs to the out of a street parking deck. We've got a grant that we're in the running for that, for 80% of the $1.6 million project, 30 miles of water mains, and then we've reserved funding for grants to the Rialto and the museum. Now I want to just remind everyone of a change we made for this year's budget. Those grants will be by agreement that'll come to the council over the next couple of months. So the budget itself does not authorize the expenditure of those grants. Those are separate agreements. If you remember, the Rialtos was a capital grant, so the thought there is that we're investing in the theater itself, not the operations, so that we can maintain that historic building, and then to preserve Joliet's history by helping out with the museum. Summary budget is $661 million. It's approximately, I want to say 19 million higher than the current year, and it is a balanced budget. Revenues exceed expenses. On sewer and water, we are issuing debt for the construction of, or the replacement of water mains, and then the Chicago water, or the Lake Michigan water project to bring that water down to Joliet and 6 communities by 2030. So that's a quick summary of the budget.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? I want to make a few comments if no one else wants to.
Mayor, I do have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
This tax for the gas, now, it's vehicle replacements, but I know last time we raised the tax, I voted no because some of those folks were supposed to, not the folks, but the monies were supposed to go for road improvements, and I have not seen that happen. And I would like to see all of this money, if this is passed, to go for road improvements, and we can do some, take a loan or something for vehicle replacements, but we can't keep putting this on our taxpayers. And it's not all gonna go to the trucks. I mean, our people have diesel trucks as well. And I had made a suggestion, but apparently that didn't go forward. So, I'm just against this taxing everybody all the time. We're not on that, I thought we were on 605. Wait, what? Wait a minute.
The
Help me out
budget.
here.
The budget. We're approving the budget.
I'm ahead of myself? Oh, sorry. All right. Sorry, Mayor.
It's
Duh.
okay. So I'd like to thank the city manager, the finance director, Kevin Singh, and his department, and the entire administrative staff for the hard work in putting together this budget. I know a lot of time and efforts went into this. A lot of things had to be cut. A lot of things were needed but weren't essential. And we'll continue to look at this budget as we move forward to make sure that we invest the tax dollars as best we can. That's what we do as stewards and public servants, is making sure that we do everything and as transparently, so that everyone knows. You know, that's our duty as public servants. Everything in the budget is mobile. Over $25,000, we still have to bring it back and discuss it and approve it and allow it to be moved forward. So as we go through this year, this budget may not invest as much as Kevin just said. I think when you take a look at the cost of living sitting somewhere around 2.5, 2.6, this budget moved up 3%. We kept it as compressed as we could to make sure that we didn't get ahead of ourselves. So we feel pretty good about this, pretty confident that, number one, it's a balanced budget. It's almost at the cost of living. So again, I take my hat off to all the department heads and the finance director and the city manager who stewarded this effort. And I think everybody did a very good job. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, do we have a motion and second? It's been motion and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudron?
Aye.
Councilman Quillman?
Just to be sure, is this tax thing gonna be separate on the count, or is that part of the budget? It's separate. That's what I thought, because these pages that I have are out of order, so I apologize. Yeah, it's about 3. So I'll vote aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 606-24. Ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024 and ending December 31st, 2024 in and for the 1996 Joliet Special Service Area Number 14, Joliet City Center. It is recommended that ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 607-24, ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024, in and for the 2009 Joliet Special Service Area Number 7 Park Hill subdivision. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
And I'd just like to add, Mayor, these folks they asked for this special service,
Yeah.
the neighbors that live there.
Yep.
That's why we're doing it.
Thank you. Any other comments? Thank you.
Do I have to abstain because I live there? That's my neighborhood. Like, do I gotta abstain? Better.
I would say so, yeah.
If there's no hard and fast rule on this.
We're paying taxes.
If you feel you can be objective, but that's your call.
You're paying the tax.
Yeah, right. Just curious. Just curious.
You're stuck either way.
Yeah, I guess if you're saying no.
You're paying.
Is it me?
Sorry. It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 608-24. Ordinance amending Chapter 28, Taxation, Article 9, Retail Purchase of Motor Fuel of the City of Joliet Code of Ordinances. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so, Mayor, as I was saying before, please tell me where these monies are going to go. Are they gonna go for the roads, or are they gonna go for vehicle replacements? Because that's what everybody's talking about, and I got some calls that, that's what we told folks last time, and it really didn't help with the roads. So they have no issue with the 1 cent if it's gonna go for the roads, along with the diesel monies.
Right, so it's going to go to our vehicle replacement, but that prevents us from having to dip into the general fund where money is for our roads and our sidewalks. Greg or Kevin, do you want to expound on that for me?
When we put the budget together, we have all the needs come together. So we have to replace vehicles for police and fire and our public works department. So that's a priority over roads and sidewalks, because we need to respond to calls and fix our infrastructure. So as vehicles need to be replaced, if we don't have a sufficient revenue stream to do those vehicles, we have to take from other projects, which are generally roads and sidewalks. So without having additional revenue for vehicles, it will impact the number of roads and sidewalks we can do in a year.
However, the sidewalks are really, really bad, all over, and they haven't been touched in years. They're always patched with a little blacktop here because of everything else. And I know that we need vehicles, but we also need good sidewalks besides roads.
Yeah, over the last several years, the council has approved significantly larger amounts of funding for roads and for sidewalks, and we've been addressing some of those. I think you see a lot of that work taking place now. With that being said, there are still a lot of sidewalks out there that need to be maintained. And, we continue to chip away at those repairs.
I know it's a priority for the council. We hear from Councilman Clement about it a lot as well, and others, so it is a priority. We hear you loud and clear. And that's why we need this funding, so we don't take away from our roads and our sidewalks.
So will we see sidewalks right away?
Nothing happens right away in government.
They've been waiting for years. I mean, can we just compromise here on some of the vehicles as opposed to the sidewalks and the roads?
We don't have to compromise, because this amount that we're
cover it all?
approving now will cover the vehicles, meaning we don't have to pull from our general fund
Okay.
where the money is for the roads and sidewalks.
That's the promise that I wanted.
Yes, that's a promise that I will give you.
Okay, all right, thank you. I'm good with that now. Thank
Yeah,
you,
Joe.
Mayor.
I think we're making great progress. Kevin gave me some numbers just to make sure I was right. It was
22 million, and now we're gonna go to 26 million in roads, which is a big improvement. And I know we increased, I don't have the number, we increased the sidewalks as well. And I believe Councilwoman Reardon was on that too. We spoke about that.
Sorry, that is included in the number. Remember last
Okay.
year, starting last year, we combined it to give the flexibility to do the sidewalks that you're talking about.
Yeah, but to the confusion, what Jan was saying, it did say roads in there. So it was in the, probably a typo in there.
In the council memo.
I saw that.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be there. Yeah, you were not making it up.
Any other comments?
Yeah, Mayor. Kevin, I know you weren't here when the 3-cent tax went in a few years ago, but as I understood it, that was completely for vehicles because we passed a bond issue to pay for replacement on vehicles only. Am I incorrect?
No, based on what I saw in the records that were available to me, I saw that, yes, you did the 3 cents. You did a general obligation bond, so it wasn't a revenue bond, but you were able to abate the tax that we talked about at Finance Committee because you did do that pledge of the revenues unofficially for vehicles.
Thank you. And you had made a statement at the Finance Committee in regards to how far below we really are in replacing our vehicles. If what was the number you gave us?
So we have 750 pieces of equipment and/or vehicles. If you just assume a 10-year replacement, now obviously there's vehicles that go faster, some that go slower, we would need to replace 75 a year. If you see this budget, there's only 41. So we're still a little behind, but we need to start making progress before they all go bad.
Thank you.
I just want to make a note too, just what you said. We even made that line item for that 3 cents vehicle replacement. So we always intended it to go directly into that.
Realizing, as it was said, that we're not stealing from one fund to put another, but, yeah, thanks, Sherry.
Anything else? The last thing about this too is that we're competitive with all our surrounding communities. We didn't do anything over and above anybody else, but this is really gonna help us get caught up on our vehicles. That bond that was done some years ago caught up at that time, but it didn't have the strategic movement forward. It caught them up, but it didn't continue to the future. So what this is gonna do is allow us to strategically start replacing vehicles with the revenue to do it. And it's not that onerous. I mean, we talked about it. If you drive 15,000 miles a year, your car gets 20 miles to the gallon. That's $7.50. At 25 miles to the gallon, that's $6. And if you drive electric like me, it won't cost you anything.
Sounds like a pitch.
Well, I'm just saying, contributing to the clean air of our community. Anything else? Thank you.
Okay. It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under resolutions, Council Memo Number 610-24, resolution to establish a business continuity grant program for Chicago street businesses. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
It's
Thank
been
you.
motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 611-24, resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into service agreements with Pace and Kendall County and to accept grant funds under Title 20 of the Social Security Act Dial-A-Ride and 511 bus route. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved. Second.
Any questions, comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the city manager's report.
Good evening, everyone. First, I want to congratulate our 10 newly sworn-in police officers. Congratulations to Jabez Brown, Donovan De Hoyos, Scott Fosen, Roberto Magana, Ruben Morges, Conrad. Okay, forgive me for this one, Conrad, if I don't get it right, but here we go. Ocha Reyna. Maya Sanchez, Tyler Thorstad, Jacob Valadez, and Parker Woods. We wish you all the best in your career with us. I recently attended the Will County Center for Economic Development annual breakfast at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. The breakfast was an opportunity to hear the agency's annual report presented by CEO Doug Pryor. The report discussed the many good things happening in Will County with respect to economic development, including job growth and attracting businesses to the region. Joliet was mentioned several times during the presentation, including what Doug Pryor refers to as wins, such as the expansion at the PQ Corporation and the breaking ground and opening of the new Hollywood Casino in 2025. Finally, we had another Santa send-off this past Saturday. Many thanks to the members of the Joliet Police, Fire, and Public Works departments that helped escort Santa through Joliet and bid him farewell before heading back to the North Pole to prepare for his journey on Christmas Eve. A reminder to residents that City Hall will be closed on Wednesday, December 25th in observance of the Christmas holiday, and will also be closed on Wednesday, January 1st for New Year's Day. On behalf of all city staff and myself, we want to wish all of you a very blessed and safe holiday season. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay. Next is public comments. Is there anyone who would like to address the council this evening? I have two people signed up, Robert Webb II and Carlos Mantilla Manuel.
Mayor, councilman, administrative staff members, concerned community members. In the spirit of the law of the land, the supreme law of the land of the state of Illinois, particularly Article 1, Sections 1, 2, 6, and 20 of the Illinois Constitution, and the supreme law of the land of America, Amendment 4, 5, 8, 14. And on behalf of the silent majority, the Joliet-Will County Area community members, I extend to this council our greetings of peace and friendship. Stand here before this council, great concern concerning the administrative hearings that are held in this council chamber in reference to citations that's issued to various citizens for alleged ordinance violations that's issued by the local ordinance violation officers, aka the police. According to the Black Law Dictionary, an administrative judge swears people in his testimony to review evidence and make policy determinations. The administrative law judge that presides over these administrative hearings that's held in this room, who happens to be a hired attorney at law, he states in these administrative hearings at which time neither does the alleged injured party appears, neither does any witnesses appear, nor does any of the police local ordinance violation officers, enforcement officers, aka police, appear to provide any testimony. And the administrative law judge psychologically manipulates the accused into engaging in giving testimony against himself by asking them what's their side of the story. Now, as we all know, a man named Jesus Christ when he was up on charges, and asked a question about who he was, and he said, well, who did they say I am? So he never even had to give testimony about himself in relationship to charges that was brought against him. So this administrative law judge, contracted attorney at law, is making these decisions that when people come up here, he'll tell them that he's going to believe what's in the citation that's issued by the local ordinance enforcement officers, AKA police. Now, he doesn't even have the ordinance violation book present to read off the essential elements of the offense, like disorderly conduct, criminal trespass to real property. Just to name a few of those citations is a $150 fine. So without having the victim, the witness, the reporting police officers, then there's no case. That's still, you know, this administrative law judge, hired attorney, is holding these people liable for violating a local ordinance.
Thank you for your comments, sir.
Well, you know, if you give me a few more minutes, because I don't want to make this a part two, coming back next week or next month to finish where I left off at. So I'll try to be real brief. And I want you all to take this under advisement, that if council members are truly about standing on their oath of public office to support the Constitution and ordinances, City of Joliet to the best of their ability, then this particular practice of having an administrative law judge, a hired attorney, preside over these administrative hearings for local ordinance violations, that should stop, because these same offenses, police officers are filing criminal complaint charges and having them prosecuted over the Will County Courthouse by the state's attorney. And it's wondering, like, how can you have administrative law hearings and then administrative proceedings here for local ordinance violations, and then have criminal complaint charges prosecuted at the courthouse across the street for the same offense, where people are being charged thousands of dollars, at least they get a trial by a jury, at least the victim shows up, at least witnesses show up to provide testimony, and the defendant doesn't have to give any information of themselves. So it seems that this practice of these administrative law hearings, administrative proceedings hearings in this council chambers by the hired attorney that's don't even have the ordinance book, so you're not going to even read out what the ordinance happens to, wording of the ordinance for the offenses, to put people on notice what they're being
Mr.
charged
Webb,
with.
we'll look into this. We can't make a decision right here, right
I'm
now,
just saying,
so
take it
I
under
respect
advisement.
your comments, but we have a 4-minute time.
I
We've let you go
understand
over,
that,
it,
but,
and we
take-
can discuss this with our legal department at a different time.
Well,
Thank you.
Well, take it under advisement, because it doesn't seem constitutionally correct.
We hear you, sir. We'll take a look at it. Thank you.
Okay. We have a Carlos Manuel that is also signed up.
My name is Carlos Montilla Emanuel, and I'm new to Joliet. And recently, I am the person involved. I came today in front of this administrative law judge, and I share. In regards to the citation 133-0036-8118-0030, the information of the citations are fatally defective, and the citations fail to strictly comply with the mandatory pleading requirements of 735 ILCS 5/2-603B, form of pleadings, as well as fails to strictly comply with the mandatory pleading requirement of 735 ILCS 5-2 correction -604A, prayer for relief, as well as it failed to comply with the mandatory pleading requirements of 735 ILCS 5/2605A verification of pleading. Therefore, the information set forth on the citation documents represent insufficient pleading which violated the mandatory pleading requirement of 735 ILCS 5/2-612B. Since the information on the citations 133-00036 and 8118-0030 failed to provide me with sufficient information to make me knowledgeable of what I am being called upon to answer, then both citations 133-00036 and 8118-0036 should be dismissed with prejudice pursuant to 735 ILCS 5/2-615, failure to state a claim upon which relief may be granted. Furthermore, based upon the failure on the part of the alleged injured party to present, as well as based upon the failure on the part of any witnesses to provide sworn testimony in support of the alleged local ordinance claim against me, a claim violations against me, based upon the failure on the part of the local ordinance enforcement officers, AKA the police, to be present, then there is no one here to prosecute the local ordinance violation claims filed against me. Therefore, this tribunal court should affirm the dismissal of citation 133-0036- and 8118-0030 with prejudice, now and forevermore. Also, I would like to be afforded with a written decision designated with the local ordinances violations claims being dismissed with prejudice. And with that said, I rest. However, it was affirmed. I do not have clarity as to why and how I was not afforded my rights. I did nothing, and this is where I rest again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening?
I just want to say a couple things that I'm very disappointed on the fuel tax vote. I don't think you guys realize the danger you put my life in. Now, and I also want to wish everybody Merry Christmas. I hope everybody enjoys themselves. You know, mine has just been full of particles, so I want everybody to enjoy your Christmas, respect, and enjoy your family, because you never know when it's going to be your last.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, City Manager, staff. You know, Vince Lombardi once said, perfection is impossible. But in this action taken to achieve perfection, you can achieve excellence. And I think the many things that are placed before you and the demands placed before you require that you be thoughtful, considerate, and take action that you feel is appropriate. I've been before the council a number of times this year, and I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that while I may not agree with every decision, and that's okay, I would say that you're doing what you believe is right for the city today. Decisions made today will show results in the future, and you might look back and say, we wish we had done it one way or another. That can't be changed. What can be changed as you look forward, and I congratulate you for creating a comprehensive planning committee that will convene shortly to look at all of the issues that face our city. All of the issues and all of the people. And when you bring together representation from across the city to develop that plan, we won't achieve perfection, but I think we'll have an excellent future. And I just wanted to say thank you for doing that, and wish everybody in the room a very happy holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate, enjoy it, because as the speaker before me said, please enjoy your families while you have that opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
How y'all doing? Carl Farrell, resident. Man, for the last couple of years, we've been coming down to the city hall to address situations that we're very concerning to community members. I'm a community organizer. I see things and I get calls from people to get excessive force complaints, for example, from the police. We asked for a few years to try to find a way to mend the situation between community and police because there's a lot of trust that was lost there. This report that just came back from the Attorney General, it restated everything, all our claims that we had been coming out here telling you guys about. Well, some of you weren't here, but that we were speaking on for years. And it's still a lot of work that needs to be done now. Nothing can get solved without full transparency. I've heard that word, 4 or 5 times tonight, over and over, right? So with transparency, I know that it was stated that everything's kind of handled, on both ends. There's a couple statements in the newspaper, but without transparency, nothing can be handled. We can't just walk away from this situation and act like it's not there. The fact of the matter is, if officers were getting away with, in a report from the Attorney General is saying that the officers there was a lack of discipline, there's a lack of accountability from wrongs that the officers were doing. They were getting away with that. That's implanted, that's a system. And it's not just in the police department. The state's attorney's office was also noted for a lack of them holding officers accountable too when they're wrong, right? And that goes a long way. People have died, you know what I mean? And like those people can't come back. There are families that are involved in this, you know what I mean? It's community that's involved in this. So we can't just sweep it under the rug and say that is handled. And it also makes us have to have a deeper dive into everything else that we questioned before. So if those investigations, those interdepartmental investigations were being handled correctly, then how can we know or trust that any of the other investigations were being handled correctly? We got bodies that were in the water. Some of the autopsies that the families had, they dispute the fact that the situations were pushed to the side. Some things that were in those autopsies state that something other happened than their family members falling in the water and accidentally drowning. So we need a way to find resolution, for all this. We need a way to heal because there's a lot of hurt that's been done. The CRB board, the Citizens Review Board, is a way for the community and police to kind of interact and kind of form some kind of relationship and kind of gain some trust there. Like I say, we suggested this before. A couple years ago, we went back and forth with this for about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. We need to revisit that. We also need to know how the officers who, in those reports, use excessive force, where's the accountability, how's the accountability going to come to those officers? What are the disciplinary procedures going to be for those officers? We can't just sweep that under the rug. We're not going to just let that go away because it's in another report other than just hearing citizens say it. It's in a report now from the Attorney General that said this happened. And so without accountability, you know what I mean, then there's no justice. And without no justice, there's no peace. And so we can't just act like it's going to go away. We here to stay. We want answers. We want solutions. We want healing. We want justice.
Thank you.
Okay.
I was given a shirt. This tonight, I'm from Riri's Legacy of Compassion. A lot of people calling me and asking me.
Sir, if you could step closer to the podium and speak to the mic.
I was calling, I was asked, what is the conclusion? Give us some answers. We don't know nothing. All we know is what the patch put in there, but we don't know what happened with this administration. And we know it's before you guys, but we want to know what happened. We don't know what he said. It's the same thing he said. Everything that he said is what we're feeling. And I don't know what the answer. I don't know the answer. So she said, take this down there. Let them see our leaders that died in the past that fought for us. You even got Frederick Douglass on here. Those are hundreds of years ago. And we still going through the same struggle. We're still talking about this. We've been doing community events to bring our community together. And everybody's saying, a lot of us, we trying. So tell us something. So we can tell the people that want to know. Because I faced it also personally. I sit in jail. I faced it. I know the effects of this. It disrupts your family. The kids are seeing this. And that's why the kids is doing the things that they're doing. Because they don't have no trust in the police. Tell us something. Let's tell them something. Let's tell us, our church leaders, tell us something. We don't know. We just know what the passport. We don't know what the police is doing. So make a memo. Pass out something. Have a meeting. Be transparent. Let us know. Thank you very much for your time and patience.
Thank you.
Joliet City Council members, Ms. Beatty, City Manager, Mr. Darcy, Mayor Darcy, and all staff and everyone else who participated in the Downtown Continuity Grant. We appreciate you. Thank you. And have happy holidays. Thank you, guys.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening?
Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Lurie. I'm the widow of Eric Lurie. And I just have pretty much one question as to what now. The Attorney General report is back. My family and I have been fighting a long time trying to get justice for my husband. This report proves in writing everything that we thought happened. Everything is factual. It just opened up old wounds for me and my family. For me to see my husband back on TV again, being murdered in the back of a police car. And my question is, what now? What happens now? Because the investigation is here, and excuse my voice, I'm a little sick, I'm a little hoarse, but I wanted to make sure I came down here to address this. What happens now with the city? What happens now with our community? How do we put trust into the police to make sure nothing like this happens again to what happened to my husband? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening? Okay, seeing none, we have mayor and council comments. Who would like to start?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm typically very short with my comments at the end just because, I think these meetings are very serious and there's a lot of passion involved with a lot of the different agenda items that happen. So sometimes for me, I find it difficult to just come out here and just say how great of a week I had or what, where I've attended and things that are going to be going on. But I'm very sympathetic to everything that's going on in our city. It's a large city, a lot of different things happening. And I do take a lot of the stuff to heart with a lot of the issues that we face, a lot of the things that come across our agenda items. The decisions that we have to make. And like someone mentioned, we try to do what best we can with what we know and what's best for the community. Born and raised here in Joliet. We love Joliet. We all love our city. And we try to make the best decisions that we can. With that, I do want to, invite everyone to, like you said, hug your families closer this holiday season. There are a lot of activities happening in the city of Joliet. we try to bring a lot of good things that are happening. I think right now with the a big item of the supporting our downtown businesses. The Glow at the Slammers is a really cool event to take your families to. I think it's affordable. It's something that people can go out and do. We're not going to get the snowy Christmas that we all want, but it's going to be 50-degree weather, so it's perfect to get out there. And a way to continue to support our businesses on top of what we're doing is to get out there and go have dinner, go have lunch, once, twice, 3 times throughout this holiday season and after. But yeah, I just want to wish everyone a happy holidays, happy New Year, Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, everything. So that's all my comments.
Just Merry Christmas to everybody.
I'm in agreement with Councilman Cardenas. I think one of the best ways that we can continue to support our downtown businesses is to just stop by, especially now during the holidays, is doing a little bit of shopping. I know I've been down to Chicago Street Pub. Megan's Lunch is my favorite go-to item. I say I'm going to get something different every time, and I just keep coming back to it. I've been down to Euronuna, formerly K-Ribs, Richardson's. Planning on stopping by Internode to get some gifts for this Christmas. And then to Mrs. Lurie, we've spoken before outside of the council chambers, and so I want to thank you for coming here tonight. I'm sure it's a difficult time for you, and you're right. It is an opportunity to kind of bring up some of those discussions that we've had at length over the last few years, and be able to reach some sort of conclusion. I think it's a difficult topic. We've discussed it back and forth over the years, but I think we all are in agreement that we want to prevent anything like that from happening again. So, that only highlights again the importance of what's been said, to just to appreciate our loved ones, our friends and family, and to spend this time to be appreciative and humble, and to give them a tight hug. So I think everybody's in agreement on that.
Good evening. I'll be sunshine and rainbows tonight. It's fine. I want to talk about a ribbon cutting I did at a new business in my district, Healthcare Plus. It's located at 298 South Larkin Avenue. Oh, there's the pictures. It was an amazing event, and they're focusing on home health care services, including assisting with daily activities. I want to congratulate Denise Brand Unland, who won the Media Person of the Year for the nonprofit agency I've Been Mended during their annual PEP Awards. Denise is a feature editor for the Herald News and has been there since 2014. Also, I want to thank the Joliet Police Department and Officer Monica Rodriguez. We shopped in tandem, making 2 tiny little sisters' dreams come true. And finally, congratulations to the new Joliet Business of the Year winner, Michelle Aranya of Internode Greenery and Home, located at 81 North Chicago Street. And Caesar, you're going to find some amazing gifts there. I bought a tiny little plant for $5 that is now 2 plants and 2 gifts. So it's amazing. Go check it out. I was at Cut 158 on Saturday night. Literally looked at my watch. 5 hours later, we're leaving. It was a really good time. We enjoyed ourselves there. So do not be discouraged by any dust or fences. Please get to the downtown businesses who desperately need you there. And it was really a beautiful night. I got out of the parking lot. There was music just blaring, Christmas music blaring. There were festoon lightings, and I walked right down the path past Richardson's and Internode to Cut 158. I just felt the Christmas spirit. It was very beautiful. And on behalf of my entire family, we want to wish everyone a safe and happy holidays. That is my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
As Caesar mentioned, I also had family that made it to the Slammers Stadium for Glow. They thought it was just an outstanding experience, and hope everyone gets a chance to get there over the holiday season. On the December 11th, the library sponsored is one of the 10 libraries in the country that had a NASA exhibition. It'll be there through the first of the year into February. If you get a chance to take a look at it, it's quite amazing what can be done. They also teamed up with Joliet Junior College, Discover Expo Planets, and they had an igloo-type setup where they flashed all the different planets up on the top, and they were explained to all of us, which I told her I only know the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper, and she says, well, they're parts of another system, but they did a great job, and wish everybody a happy holiday.
Okay, well, I had quite a week, and it's been quite a week, ups and downs, sad and sometimes happy. But last night we started with this water scam that was, this is what it looks like. I want people to see that. They have the neighbor's name on your water thing, and this is a total scam. So if someone comes to you or leaves this on your door, it says water update, we're here to come in and check your water. Complete scam. There's no identification. They parked down the street, no uniform. They were just trying to get into this lady's house to check her water. Thank goodness her daughter was there and said no and reported this. So thanks to WJOL, and Slocum had this on his website, and he also talked about it several times this morning so that people will understand this is a complete scam. It has nothing to do with the city of Joliet. So having said that, I took part in a Zonta March, Z-O-N-T-A, Zonta March. And we started at Slammer Station, and this is all about violence against women. And we walked over to where the old courthouse was taken down. We met there, we marched from there to there, and everybody was there talking about how we're going to get involved and keep the violence away from women, but not only women, but from men, women, and children. This is a very serious thing. And all these participants were there, even though it was brutal cold. How about it, Caesar? He was there too. Okay, so moving on, I attended the swearing in of the 10 new police officers at Bicentennial Park. I attended the Cathedral Area Preservation Association meeting, explained to them about that 6% tax. On the 11th, I went to the Collins Street meeting and also the Chamber of Commerce Business After Hours. On the 12th, I attended the African American Business Association Christmas dinner and meeting, and what they're doing are some amazing things. They're coming up with strategic plans for the upcoming year, and it was held at Dia Moore on Republic Avenue. And Saturday was the big Santa send-off for all the people in Joliet. We started in the firehouse on Station 4, and we went all the way out to the far west, ended up at Plainfield South High School, and I'm telling you, this was one of the most amazing things. This has been our 4th year doing this, and it started during COVID, where kids couldn't go out and see Santa. I cannot tell you the joy and the happiness, people on the streets, and even when the fire trucks were going down, it was busy, busy, busy. People stopped off to the side of the road, waving at Santa, taking pictures, and it was like lines and lines and lines, and it was just amazing. And I just thought, wouldn't it be nice if everybody could just come together all the time and be happy and wave and say hi and Merry Christmas? Because it was just an amazing event, and I hope we can do it again next year. And with all that being said, I'm sorry for everything, and I just wish that we could just take a moment of silence for the children that were killed up in Madison, Wisconsin. Thank you. And I just want to wish everyone happy holidays, and be sure to love and hug your family, because you never know. You just never know. Thank you.
I just have one thing to add. I'd like to congratulate our previous finance director, Jim Godotti, on his retirement. His skill and dedication to our city over the years has been amazing, and we will truly miss him. So congratulations, Jim. I wish you all the best on your future endeavors. Other than that, I'd just like to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Again, I'm going to start hugging my family on Friday. They are all starting to converge, so I can't wait. And Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, it's always hard to go last. I had to X out most everything I was going to say. I want to tell a little story I heard though one day. A mom walked into her son's room on a Sunday morning and said, "Son, it's time to get up and go to Mass. Time to go to church." He rolled over and he looked at his mom. He said, I got 2 reasons I'm not going. They don't like me and I don't like them. The mom stood back a minute and she said, I'm going to give you 2 reasons why you're going. You're 54 years old and you're the pastor. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I tell Sue I'm staying in bed. She goes, you know what? You're 68 and you're in the mayor. Now get down there and get to work. I had the good fortune last Thursday to debut my first time in a radio play, It's a Wonderful Life. And you know, I watched that thing for about 4 days in a row to try and get into the frame of mind of Clarence the Angel. And it does remind you about what good times we live in. You know, we do have a lot of things that we have to look forward to. You know, the city's run with a new administration, new team here, new team in the police departments. We really have nothing but a bright future to go forward into. And we certainly want to make sure that we are the gold standard of cities, and we will do that. And we're well on our way to that. But it did remind me that we need to spend time with our family and our friends. Encourage everyone to take a minute to give a hand up to those who are less fortunate. It doesn't always have to be anything but a kind word, but don't forget, you know, everybody needs that once in a while. We just need that hand up. On behalf of myself, my family, the city of Joliet, we want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and God bless you and your families. Thank you.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motion and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, meeting adjourned.
That's me, bro.